What's going on, guys? It's Thomas from THP Fitness, your personal trainer. Should you be counting calories? In today's video, I'm going to break down 8 different factors that actually affect how much calories is in the food we eat and whether you should or shouldn't be counting calories. Now, we all know the struggle. It's a pain in the butt to count calories for long periods of time. Maybe if you're motivated, you're really determined to hit some sort of weight loss goal, yeah, maybe you can keep that up for a month or maybe 3 months, maybe past that if you're really determined and in the right frame of mind. But we all know eventually you're not going to want to pull out your phone and track every single morsel of food that you're putting in your body, whether you're in your family setting and it's taking away from being in their presence, or whether you're late, maybe your boss brings up a lunch meeting and now you don't have as much time to track as you usually do. Maybe your kids are sick or other some sort of stresses in life that eventually lower your willpower to track every single morsel of food. And we'll start by saying this: trying to predict specific inputs and outputs is a losing battle. If you're even talking about trying to predict how much calories you're expending, it's a really hard thing to do. Your body is so specific. You have your own specific digestive system that either works really strongly or maybe it's really weak. Your own specific physical activity level, your own specific metabolism, your own specific exercise routine. There's just so many different variables that actually can go into determining your output and the input as well. So here are 8 different factors that actually affect the calories that are in the foods that we're eating. Number 1 is outdated data. The food labels that you're reading and the nutrient databases that you may be using could be out of date and inaccurate. And because of that, the energy and nutrients that are actually in those foods could be off. Number 2 is imprecise analytical methods. The result is only as good as the test, and the way that we test foods doesn't always provide the most reliable results. Number 3 is product variety. Different batches of processed or natural foods vary in their actual contents. Now, one test at a single point in time can't predict every single batch that's coming out. Number 4 is soil and growing conditions. Now, based on that specific soil, where you're at, the climate, how much sunlight, all these factors can manipulate how much nutrients are in the food that we're eating and how much energy are in those foods. Take, for example, winemakers. Winemakers want to use specific soils in specific areas because that will make their grapes have the perfect composition and the perfect flavor for their wine. The same is for all of the foods that we're consuming. Number 5 is ripeness at the time of harvest. Now, whether we're getting something in its seasonal peak or getting something that's not even ripe can also change how much energy and nutrients that we can get from that specific food. Number 6 is the animals' diets. The milk that we're eating, the meat, the eggs, all those things can change in their nutrients and their energy based on that specific animal's living conditions, their diets. All of that can play a role into how much you're getting from those foods. Number 7 is the length of storage. Now, there's a big difference in if we're eating something that was harvested this morning or if we're eating something that was harvested 3 weeks ago in a different time zone. Last but not least is number 8, the preparation and cooking method. Depending on how you cook something can change how much energy we can actually get from that food. Now, think about your body's ability to digest a potato that's been cooked and a potato that's not being cooked. Eating something raw from eating something that's been prepared really well can change how we digest the food and in turn change how much energy we can get from that food. So with all those factors combined, that means that the energy that the food label says and the energy that we're getting can be way off, as much as 25% more or less than what's actually labeled on those foods. Research has even shown that the frozen foods that we eat can have as much as 8% more calories than what's on those food labels. And some restaurant meals can have as much as 18% more calories than what's labeled. So what that means for you and I is that we don't know for sure how much energy and nutrients are in the foods that we're eating. And when we do get those, we don't know how much we can actually absorb and use. And also we don't even know, based on your specific metabolism, how much you're actually going to burn. So let's get into whether you should or shouldn't be counting your calories. Now, you should count calories if you have already mastered the basics, if you have awesome food choices, you're eating with regularity, you have an awesome routine, you already understand the portion sizes that are good for you, you have good awareness of your body, you know your hunger and fullness cues, and if you can actually detach emotion from eating in the first place. So if you're preparing for a specific competition or an event, or you're looking for above average leanness that's beyond already being healthy and happy, then yes, you do want to count calories. Now, you shouldn't count calories if you don't already have the basics mastered. If you don't have good food choices, you don't have any regularity or routine with your eating, you don't have good understanding of your portion sizes for your body type, if you don't have any awareness of your hunger or appetite or fullness cues, if you're a very emotional eater and you use it as a means to escape or reduce stress, those are all factors that would indicate that counting calories isn't the most important. The most important thing is you want to focus on some of those basics and master them. One thing to keep in mind is those individuals that you do see that are the high-level competitors, elite athletes, or individuals that have achieved some really high level of leanness, typically they restrict and count their calories for a short period of time. They're not doing it all the time. These people have really good lifestyles, they have really good habits, they've been working a long time to get to where they are, they have a good understanding of their body, and so they'll follow a plan for a specific period of time and they'll achieve that, and then once they're done, they're just gonna go back to their normal, regular, good habits. So my suggestion to you is to develop those basics and to master them, and eventually down the road, if you want to achieve some of the higher levels of fitness, then maybe get with a qualified coach to break down a plan for you and hit those goals. All right, if this pro tip has helped you or maybe someone that you know, tag someone and share the health. This is Thomas from THP Fitness. I'll see you guys soon.